We got a big update and we're gonna poison everything. The problem is we can only use poison guns. The upside is we have tiers beyond pink diamond now. Spindle, Uranium, Moonstone, and Onyx. And look at that damage, 7.5E plus 24. But without further ado, we better just get to poisoning things so we can try and break through the earth. This is gonna take a minute. I guess the strategy is just to try and spray the poison as far as we possibly can, which might be good or terrible. I've also already locked myself too far down. That's okay, I caught that mistake at the beginning of the day. Can I make it up that? Alright, because this is a nice big coal deposit. I just don't want to get myself stuck anywhere. It's actually going to be hard to build this. I've got to try and go like that way at an angle. Oh, these didn't actually break all the way through. Interesting. We're going to have to learn how this poison thing works. I'm going to need a lot of platforms. Like even now that's really annoying to have to deal with. So the poison does shoot out in globs like that and then it sticks to stuff. There's a chest down there. We might be able to actually tick that away. Okay, I think I can make this jump. It's a little awkward, but we can do it. Okay, we got a coal quota filled at least a lot. So I think the poison's powerful. It's just going to be a little bit hard to use. We're going to need a lot of platforms and a lot of careful planning and thinking, which isn't usually my strong suit. Although once I start getting collectors, we'll be in good hands. The fudge blocks should take you a second to break. They always do. Final 30 seconds of the day. We're just going to grab whatever we can, which should be some good value. We're going to get this and that to the top. It was hard to make that last jump, but we got there. So now we could just go, I don't know, try and poison open the chest, even though this isn't going to work. Money for the day is what matters. We got 791. I think that's perfectly acceptable. Equipment, platforms, yes. There's also an infinite ladder for 200. Places where your light will extend endlessly upwards and downwards until it collides with a tile. Does it keep going down? For now, I'm going to buy some of that. I also need to see what our next poison gun is going to cost. 874. It does 105 damage per tick instead of 45. You know what? We're going to sell the one we have now and buy the copper. The rest of my money is going onto platforms for now. Now we'll be able to move ourselves up and down. I think this has a little bit better radius on it. I think, yeah, so it's going to take less ticks to go through this stuff as well, isn't it? I think this could be a really, really powerful build. It's just, we got to wait for the poison to do its thing. But once these things get super powerful, it's going to be super easy. Okay, we're going to start building a ladder up here. Got to start opening chests too because we need those passive bonuses. Okay, a few platforms can get us a long ways. We've already easily hit our goal. I guess, yeah, we could just basically do this. We could just poison the ground, go up, deliver everything, run back down, get a new stockpile, re-poison the ground, rinse and repeat. Like, my backpack's already full again. I'm going to need bigger backpack. This is going to be a really strong build. And we'll get down there for the new stuff. Are we already full again? That's crazy. We're poisoning the earth, just like a mega corporation. Okay, we've got almost 10 times the coal we need already. It's a bit early for that kind of craziness, but I'm here for it. Would really like to break the fudge blocks. I want to see what's in the chests. Well, we can't get at it there and I'm too lazy to bother. Plus, I need to race to the top because we're running out of time. And we definitely made some money on this one. Might be enough if we could try our extendo ladder. $2,000. That should work nicely. We can even buy the iron poison gun. So we'll do 150 damage and it does even more ticks. So we'll sell the carrot gun and buy the iron. I'm also going to add time to the day. We'll make a lot more money with that. I'll try the infinite ladder for 200. It's a big bite of our money right now. We also need more inventory slots. I'll make more money. All right, now our poison's going to do much more. I don't know if it's reaching further yet, but it's going to get a long ways. I guess I could just wait till I need the ladder, then put it down at least to you do it somewhat efficiently. I really want all this stuff to open. Open everything. Poison everything. All the loot will fall down to me anyways. It can't get away from me. Oh, those poison blocks are almost dead. That's so annoying. Maybe I'll build a platform. I really do need to get up there. Because maybe these can start to give us more poison damage anyway. Or some amethyst. Those are nice too. Okay, we poisoned some more. I'm going to start to lose my track here very quickly. I think right here was where I needed the ladder, more or less. We'll put it right here and up it goes. Does it continue to go down? That's what I want to know. If it breaks those tiles, does it continue? Nope. It only exists in this place where it can. But that's going to be handy, at least for getting up to this point. I kind of want these amethysts. We'll grab that chest while we're at it. It's just going to be really, really easy for a bit. We're already down to the next layer. Should start poisoning that as well. And that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Everything needs to be poisoned thoroughly. Okay, got to build a couple platforms here. And up we go. We're not quite halfway through the day. And that's perfectly okay. Can I make it over to that? Not really. That's okay. We'll just keep going like this, poisoning a big, wide area. Working our way down. These blocks will be considerably harder, but they'll have considerably more loot in them. Can we make that chest? I'm going to have to. We'll jump all the way up. And out of there we get employee minor damage. We're probably still going to rely on them eventually, although I can't hire the traditional ones. Gotta remember as I'm going to keep poisoning things because the poison takes time. Got all that dumped off fairly quickly, straight to the bottom where we belong. Put up a platform there just for future considerations. That's a lot of copper. There's some blue things over here. We're gonna need wings and hoverboards and stuff before too long too. Give me all the gems. Poisoning everything. There's a big cluster of blue down there. I think we got that all poisoned up. While we're waiting for everything to burn properly, we're going to go up, leave the poison at the bottom. So the coal quota was 160. I got almost 10 times that, and I'm not trying for coal. I'm just mining anything I can at this point. The countdown's on, so whatever. I guess we'll just take a bunch of coal to the top. And we just went down to the bottom. I'm not really sure why, because I didn't have anything else to do with my time. $5,700 for that day. I don't know if the infinite ladder is going to be any good for us right now. I'm probably just going to buy another, say, 64 of those. I can also jump all the way up to an emerald poison gun at this point. That does 450 damage per tick for 5 ticks. That is way more damage. It's triple damage plus more ticks plus a bigger radius. So yes, we're going to sell iron, bring in the emerald. Would have debatably been a better choice to get add time for 3,000, but we can get that next time. One thing I will buy for now is a collector. We can't quite get a senior collector, but that's okay. We'll get one collector at least helping, just because I want a friend. Oh yeah, much bigger radius. This will do a lot more damage, and it'll break through this layer quicker. We're gonna head straight down for the next layer. I'm gonna let a big pile of debris form at the bottom. So this is actually where the infinite ladder would come in handy. Yeah, okay. So next time we're gonna bring one of those. I see the problem with my ways, but we're making improvements. It should make little difference anyway. We're down to the next layer, and I can use platforms to get up and down anyways. While the poison's soaking in, I'm actually going to do just that. We're going to do our little baby jumps up to the top. Okay, we've unloaded. We've already hit our coal quota, and we're only a quarter of the way through the day. Plus, I have my little collector going, plus all of this. I really want to poison up that nice and good. Okay, we just touched the ground and we're full again. Yeah, I'm concocting a new strategy in my brain. There's a lot of amethyst there. I really want that chest as well if we can. Need to make sure our platforms are staying in line. I think I did too big of a gap on that. That's fine. Messy is what we do. Another delivery in. We've gotten 4 times the coal we need so far. Some of these harder blocks are still getting a little bit harder than I'd like to go through, even with this powerful poison gun. Ooh, there's a lot of gems sitting there. We're really gonna have to get to those too. Poison, poison. Okay, that chest finally opened. I managed. Ooh, I want those for sure. Okay, we'll come back for those. That was 2,000 in rupees sitting right there. My little collector friend is also helping, not that they matter much. Where were the rubies? Right about here. I want to land on them, so I picked them up efficiently. Missed, but we got them. I sprayed the other chest on the way up just to make sure the fudge blocks continue to get eaten away. I'm trying to remember where all the gems were, so when I drop back down again, I can land on them. That didn't really work. Does the timer still keep going when I do this? I want to suck up gems and not coal if I can. Is that gonna work? Yeah, that actually did kind of work. Okay, that chest is, I might be able to open and get to that. If I can get to the top and dump this off, I can go back for the chest. Okay, that stuff got delivered. Where's that chest? Oh, I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. Go to the top, go to the top, go to the top. Double open. Oh, it's just rubies. That's so sad. The money's starting to pile up. 11,800. I think I want a senior collector at this point. They'll do most of the work for me. I still don't get the 3,000. I wish I made just a little more money that time. What I can do instead is buy one of the infinite ladders, and that's really all we can afford for now. We should be able to afford new things very soon though. A stronger collector will be a huge help, so we'll just start breaking our way down there. I want that chest if we can too, but the fudge blocks are still real hard to get through. The collector will be our biggest tool. I'm basically going to sit right here, breaking our way downwards. Actually, we did almost get through this fudge blocks. We'll get that later. For now, I'm just going to mass poison everything without any care to who or what is getting poisoned. While we're at it, we're going to grab that just because I'm waiting for a sec. 5% more poison damage. That's perfect. Where was I? Right about here somewhere. We basically already got the coal we need, and I haven't even been to the surface. I've just been spraying poison in circles. The bigger poison guns will penetrate deeper too, so we don't have to spray as much to get a bigger AoE. I'm going to go just a little bit more, and then we're going to... Wait, where'd my ladder go? Wait, what? What just happened? Where'd my ladder go? Did I use it in a bad spot? I don't know where my ladder went. I don't know if I accidentally dropped it or what just happened. We were supposed to have a ladder that was going to make this whole thing quicker. Oh well. We'll land on that later. That too, we'll just... Yeah, we'll grab that later too. We're doing okay for now. We need long-term things. I don't know why I just chased that down like that. I'm an idiot. Employee minor damage 2%. We're going to load ourselves up, do a little bit more poisoning. Yeah, I legitimately don't know where my ladder went. Gonna spray some poison on the way up. And we're going to try and grab that. Nope, we got away. We'll go track it down though. We got over... Oh, look at all there's a bunch of amethyst up there. Got to try and break those too. Need that scroll. We're already full again. 5% poison damage. Speaking of poison damage, we got to continue poisoning everything. I definitely need to lengthen the days though. We're making lots of money, but it would have been a good investment to get longer days already. Ooh, there's a gold weapon. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point though, does it? Oh, we got a poison swirl. Yeah, I just gotta get to the surface anyway. I just need super collectors. Super collectors that can bring everything to the surface. Normally I go side to side a little bit, but this is a whole different build. Money's good though. There's 16,700. The first thing we're gonna do is add time. Another infinite ladder. Hopefully this one works. In case it doesn't, we're gonna have to load up on more of these. So I'll buy 32 of those. And 32 of those. I think at this point I'm also going to buy another senior collector. That leaves us with only $5,000 left over. And that's perfectly okay, because we're just getting ever more poison damage. Basically the same strategy as last time. We're just going to sit right here on this block and poison in circles. Our quota is only 900 coal. We should hit that in no time at all. We're going to drop right onto a chest. And right beside another chest, look at all the ore falling out. Ooh, oh, okay, we'll take one of those. Yeah, this will be a nice boost for us. Yeah, okay. Normally we rely on the golden weapons, and it's actually a pretty good strategy overall. 10% poison damage because we're in the next tier. And we're back to regular stuff. Also, we're probably going to use a ladder, I think, here. This time it worked. So now I can just climb the ladder up and down as long as we got freedom up top, which it looks like we do. If not, we can platform for the rest for what we need. Yeah, because we screwed this up. So platform across there, easy. And then we drop right back down, poisoning everything, always. We're actually down to the next layer. There's some amethyst up there I want. Could bring a few of those ladders now that we're getting wealthier and wealthier. I want that chest too. Should also get into the blue blocks as quick as we can. Okay, we got 2,000 coal. We got a longer day today, so we'll make a lot more money. Just about got this one open. Should be a few more ticks. Breaking into this next layer is going to be definitely harder, but we'll do it. That was a horrible jump. This is a giant waste of our time. No, we got that though. Poison damage 10%. So we actually got lots of good poison options so far. And I think my employee poisoners too will also benefit from the poison damage increase. Although I might be wrong. They did update that, so it may or may not help. Either way, we're going to get more poison damage, and that's all we really want. I'm clearly going to need a lot more collectors, but I also need a better poison gun. I feel like we're pretty adequately ahead of our quota though, at least. I am helping still moving up and down, but I really would prefer to rely on collectors entirely. Another load to the top will still go down. I don't know if I should be destroying those or not. I guess the more blocks we destroy, the more my collectors will keep themselves busy with. But they already seem to have lots to eat. Without an upgraded inventory, we're going to fill our pockets in no time at all. So many gems and stuff on the ground. I would really like to pick those up if I could. We got the emeralds at least. That's good enough for me for now. Pretty sure my collectors will get the rest. We have 10 times the coal quota already. Final 30 seconds of the day, so we're going to try and drop into some gems-ish. Well, we got... I don't know what we got. Doesn't matter. Oh, silver would be good too, actually. I would really like the silver. Pretty sure I got some of it there. It should definitely be a good moneymaker day. We had $5,000 left over anyway. So for today, $10,000 in coal, $9,000 in iron. We had some rubies, we had some amethyst. Basically, we made 40 grand. So we're going to jump all the way up to amethyst poison gun. Our current one does 450 for 5 ticks. This does 4,500 for 5 ticks. Am I reading that right? That is 10 times the damage. And we get to sell the old one for a little bit of money. In with the amethyst. I'm going to buy a few infinite ladders. I can't quite afford another full collector. I'm just going to get a basic one or two for now. They can just help out along the way. These will turn into better ones before long. It's all part of the upgrade process. Alright, our new super poison thing should take us to the bottom much quicker because it does a lot more damage. Kind of want these chests as well if I can. Employee collector speed. I need them going up and down as quick as possible. 5% poison damage. I think I was about here. Down we go. Our poison damage is at 35% extra already. And given how strong this thing is, we should make real good progress. We did just get 10 times the damage on this one, so... There's another chest. It's getting annoying getting off my line because it's really hard to find the way back. I know it's somewhere in this vicinity anyways. We'll do the extendo ladder soon enough. Wow, we are just eroding the entire earth. And nobody can stop me. We're getting into the blue blocks. I don't know if that's an iron or a blue chest. There's also one below me anyway, so... Ooh, it's a gold one. Oh, this will be good for getting down deep, I think. Not as strong as you would have thought, but we're making our way down. We got to get through this thing. Oh, we did. We'll take 15% poison damage again, just because I'm going to need poison for a little bit to carry us. Because the blue blocks, as strong as we are, they're still quite strong too. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to put the extendo ladder right here. I know it's a little bit off our line, but I think it's fine. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because we left some chests behind somewhere, so we'll get that one on the way down. That one we already got. There's also one over there I should grab at some point. Then we just got to carry stuff up. Okay, we got into that one. Amethyst. Fine, that's good actually. We got amethyst on us. Almost forgot about that one too. We'll grab that in a sec. We just mined such a big swath with this. Like every time we go down, we'll do this. We'll take collector capacity. Not sure how much that's really going to matter. We're just going to raw number it eventually. I don't know if we're going to do much carrying stuff ourselves or not, but all we can do is try. All we got to do is touch the bottom and we're full. I should get more sprint speed because I think sprinting counts on the ladder too. We don't yet have as much coal as last round, but we should eventually once they start delivering. But it doesn't matter. We hit our quota, so I'd actually rather get other stuff anyway. I don't remember where my ladder is. It's over there. Given how much I and the collectors are going up and the coal thing isn't going up, that's a good sign. It means we're getting... Ooh, we're into gold especially. There's lots of gold and lots of silver. This will be a moneymaker. I really want a better collector. It'll move much more and it'll go a lot quicker. And it will pay for itself before long. Okay, can I get... Look at all the sapphires. Actually, I'll take this to the top. I'm sure they'll get lots of gold and silver up themselves. We're right on top of the red layer, and the red layer is going to be even harder to kill, but we're going to get a lot more resources out of it. Well, there's a whole bunch of sapphires. I don't know if I can get another load up in time. Probably not at the rate we're going, which is a shame because I do have a stack of gold and rubies on me. Yeah, we're going to fall short on this. That's okay. We still made a lot of money. We found about as much coal as the day before, but we made 54,000 today. I'm actually going to get a fast collector at this point. They have a 2 times flying speed. They're going to pick up 3,550 items at a time. That's basically going to be all my money. But we could buy a few more infinite ladders for that. And since I am helping going up and down, I might actually increase my inventory slots. This will double my size. I also need to remember to keep topped up on platforms. And then we'll go back to work, straight to the bottom. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep ahead of our collector, but that's a good problem to have. Everything that hits the ground, they will take up for us. I'm just going to be spewing poison in all directions and watching the whole world erode. This is very satisfying. Look at it all popping up. There is a chest over there. I'll grab that later. We'll make our way over to it. We'll keep the poison going in all directions for now and over there. Made it to the blue layer as well. Once we start to get down into this, I might pop the ladder up so I can go up and down, and we'll hopefully explore some chests to find some golden weapons. Well, we've already hit the coal quota without even trying, as per usual. Okay, at this point, since the poisons take you a second to get through it all, we can start making our way to the top. We're going to zoom out a little bit just to get some platformy spots. It doesn't have to be pretty. We just need to get there. Like that. When you zoom out, you can really see the gaping hole we've caused. We'll drop down, hopefully catching one of our platforms on the way so we can drop over and grab one of the chests. And a golden weapon, we gotta use this to go downwards and grab that, but downwards. Gold, rubies, everything we can get. We're into rubies already, that's crazy. Okay, keep going down, downward, downward, downwards. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully my super collector can manage to somehow keep up with this. There's also a chest over there I want, and a chest there I want. We'll grab this one real quick because we're only halfway through the day. Should have done this the other way. That's sort of the story of my life. Climbing speed, 30%. Do I take that for now? I'm going to take that just for now. Climbing speed plus 30% is good because we're wasting a lot of time going up and down right now. So this is a big help. I am planning on having collectors do basically all of the work, but I still got to go for this round or maybe a few more. We'll see how it shakes out with what I need to buy. And I got to remember to keep poisoning everything and poisoning my way over to those chests for those long-term upgrades. This one I don't need to do anything with. 15% poison damage. And I just spray poison the whole time I'm going up the ladder. I think it makes it to the bottom. I don't know where it goes. We do have 10 times the coal quota already. And a lot more than we had last time. So that's a very good sign for us. And we're into the red layer. Okay, as soon as we touch down, we're full. But obviously, want to try and get that chest as well. And right back to the bottom. The collectors are not quite keeping up, but we'll start to make more and more money, so they will be able to. I don't even know, like, it's not really worth it for me to bring anything up at this point. If I can't be carrying gold and stuff anyway, I really should just be worried about getting more collectors. There's a whole bunch of rubies over there that would have been nice. I didn't see those earlier. I should at least grab that chest. And in that chest was employee minor damage. I wonder if that does work for my employees or not. I assume it does on this build with whatever employees we can hire, but maybe it doesn't. I'm not actually sure. Okay, I still need at least one more super collector. This isn't gonna fly. We did make $30,000 just in coal. In total, probably a pretty good day, 132 grand. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get a lightning collector because it's considerably better than the fast collector. You can get 9,400 items and go at 4 times speed. It does cost 100 grand, but I need to make sure they're keeping up with me. I'm also going to buy a few more senior collectors at this point. A few more infinite ladders, because we might end up stacking those up. Yeah, for 200, it kind of makes sense to use them that way. Just in case I'm not thinking about something, we're going to top up the platforms a little bit. I'm going to get one-click chest looting just because I can at this point. And straight back to work. We need 3,000 coal for our quota. That should not be hard at all. Especially if we get lucky with some chests and find some golden weapons in there. I'm going to jump off my line here pretty quick, probably to grab that chest if I can. If there's one to break, I can't quite reach it. That's so annoying. Got it. I'm going to give myself 20% jump velocity Probably could have used that a while ago. That's probably going to scale itself out fairly quickly now that I think about it. But we committed to it. It is what it is. 10% poison damage and another 10% poison damage, which is now at 85%. So basically whatever number we read on the weapons, we're doubling it. We're getting closer and closer to the bottom. Employee collector speed is going to be one of the biggest upgrades we can get. Getting a ways down into the blue layer now. I'm actually going to use my ladder here. Wait, did the collectors open the chests? Or did I open all of those? Seems like I didn't get all of those, but maybe I did. Collector speed 2%. I've unloaded all of that. There was a chest somewhere over here I wanted to grab. We'll just poison everything along the way. There it is. I was hoping for a gold weapon. Guess I gotta wait for this thing to go, but at least while I'm waiting for this, I could be spraying poison elsewhere. The whole world is eroding as long as we're doing this. Oh, we already have 10 times the coal we need. We're not even halfway through the day, so the new super collector is really working for us. Sprint speed plus 15%. I'm not sure if that affects climbing or not. There were some more chests up there I kind of wanted. We're back down to about the red layer again, so we just got to keep poisoning everything we can here. I'm going to use another one of my ladders, I don't know, right here, just to be sure we can move up and down quickly and get to these things when we need them. Because I'm hoping I can kind of just sit right here and here. Also, we can drop gold and stuff down. The collectors can grab them. I can have all the coal on me because coal's worthless. Okay, we got this chest open. Diamonds. Okay, we're going to drop those down so my beautiful friends can take them up. Chest is open. More diamonds. Fantastic. Okay, there's another chest over there. We'll probably try and grab that when we can, but we also really got to burn through some of this red layer to get even more stuff. Okay, I got a diamond shotgun out of that chest, so that should allow us to knock down. We're going to get some of the gold because gold is real valuable. And then my friends can carry it up for me. Okay, the super collector just came back. They picked up a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like they were targeting maybe more so the valuables, actually. We have well over 20 times our coal quota, so we're on easy street. Gotta make sure I'm poisoning everything I can. One thing that's going to be helpful is upgrading my gun so the poison penetrates deeper. We stayed ahead of the collectors, but not by a huge margin. So for the rest of the day, I'm going to try and get into this chest while spraying the poison down below. I don't know if we can actually get this. Close. Oh, I did manage to get it. 6% collector speed. $100,000 simply in coal today. All in all, a pretty good day. 415,000. Okay, so we're going to upgrade to a fast collector and then a lightning collector. So we got 2 of those now. We can jump up to the gold poison gun. So that's 15,000 instead of 4,500. That's triple the damage. We can also sell the old one now. Buy that. I'm going to buy the collector whistle finally. We're still going to hold on to platforms. We need less now because we're going to make the collectors do all the work. We will buy some more ladders though, just in case. And I guess too, we'll promote one of our senior collectors to fast collector. We'll do that twice. We still got 60 grand left over, so we'll just upgrade to more of them. And when we go to higher miners, they're going to be elementalists, so they're going to shoot a glob of poison every 2 seconds. They also have pickaxe though, so their damage will actually matter. But now we know, but now we have triple the damage we just did, and the poison goes much further in, which is kind of what we needed pretty badly. So employee miner damage plus 2%. I'm not really going to worry about staying online. We're going to head towards chests and stuff here especially, because I don't really need to come back up anymore. We're just going to pick the most relevant available upgrade. That was poison damage. This strategy seems to be working out pretty well. Employee miner damage 2%. I need big numbers there. We go deeper, we'll get better ones. Employee miner damage 4%. We got lots of collector power, so we really need to get down there. I did just find a ruby minigun. We're going to use that to just go straight down if we can. Straight past all the other stuff. Doesn't matter. Right into the reds, and then we can start poisoning here. We'll let the poison do its stuff over time. I'm going to put the ladder back up here just because I can poison all sorts of blocks. Like, I can have so much AoE power with this. And I want to make sure the collectors are staying busy. Plus, we need some chests anyway. Oh, we didn't get that all the way to the surface. But we can collapse a lot of the blue stuff in for a sec just to keep the collectors sort of going while the poison is still working way down here anyway. We'll take a look to either side. I might go for that blue chest over there because that might be able to give us a gun that can push us into the red zone real far. We are able to like poison our way through into the red zone so far. Will that go through? Oh, it looks like it actually did. Okay, so the ladders can stack on top of each other for situations like that. Okay, give me this. That was just boring diamonds. Speaking of boring diamonds and stuff, I need to spit some stuff out of my inventory so my friends can have them. This sound screwed up for a second there, I think because I'm mining so much. They're still not keeping up, but we do still have well over 10 times the coal quota already. Look at all the rubies. Getting through the red fudge blocks is quite an ordeal at this point. Our collectors seem to be keeping themselves nice and busy. It would be nice if they were a little quicker, but we'll get more of them. As long as there's stuff left on the ground, we don't need to be getting more damage yet. We're up to 110,000 coal. Would probably actually do well to buy some wings at this point. That way I can just fly around and deliver the poison as we need. They're not that expensive. And that will save me having to manage all the ladders and stuff. Speaking of which, this needs to go here. Is that a diamond that's poison? It looks like a strange color. Probably is. That's why we're not able to break through it super quick. Diamonds are tough. There's still so much stuff on the ground. But we got well over 35 times our coal quota. That means we've earned 1.2 million that time. That's pretty good. Okay, we're going to get 2 more. Let's get 3 more super collectors, lightning collectors. I'm also going to buy the angel wings for 25,000. We'll get the hoverboard later. Angel wings will just mean we can not worry about ladders. We can float around and get whatever we need. We can also jump up to the ruby poison gun. This is going to do 45,000 damage in 6 ticks. So it's 3 times as much damage, but it lasts longer. Aside from that, we're going to buy our first miner. So the weak elementalist 3,200, medium is 12,500. This guy's 160,000. He does 30,000 pickaxe strength and 1.13 second mining speed. His poison isn't going to be good, but his pickaxe will be in raw numbers. And then we're going to try and get 1 more of the collectors because we're going to need a lot. We're just going to upgrade there and 1 more. 7 lightning collectors. Also going to buy the miner whistle just before I forget. Okay, the new and improved poison should break through this stuff nice and quick. And we can fly around now, so we'll just fly around poisoning everything like an angel. Collector speed 2%. Yeah, we just need them moving up and down as quick as possible. There's our little friend mining away. I'm actually going to increase my employee miner speed a little bit too, just so they can get to where they're going in a hurry. If they're walking, they're not mining. I did just find a flamethrower. I don't know if this is... Yeah, for now, this is definitely better than my poison. It's a little quicker acting. Once we finish the game, beat it with our poisoner, we do get a arsonist class. Employee minor damage plus 4%. I think we get more chests deeper too, so we can get real big bonuses, I think, from the bottom. 10% poison damage. That's good for us, because we're going to be able to do a lot of big damage with all of our poison. Minor damage 6%. I just got the poison wand thing. I don't know if I love this, but our poison damage is nice and strong, actually, so it's probably big time AoE goodness for us. Employee collector speed 6%. Down we go. We're into the red layer now. Employee collector speed 6%. I need these guys going quick. We should be able to melt the red layer a lot better this time, seeing as we have, what was it, 3 times the damage. Collector speed 6%. Yeah, we're tearing into the red layer now. I also want this chest. Employee minor damage 6%. We already have 170,000 coal. There's still debris on the ground, so we're still mining faster than our collectors can work with. But that's only because I'm so amazing at this. Employee minor speed 20%. Yeah, I just float around like a little butterfly. I can just poison the ground below and grab the chest once they finally erode from their little fudge tomb. Employee minor damage 8%. I feel like we can only get upgrades now that are relevant to us. Oh, we can actually turn these up and down now. That's a nice quality of life. Poison damage is 100%. Employee minor damage is already 42% boost. We have well over 30 times the coal quota. We're only halfway through the day. This is going to be a runaway build. I do like how long the poison lasts now too. We can just go along and continually poison. Almost left this chest behind. Oh, a flamethrower. That's going to be helpful if we ever get to the ground again. It was way too far up. Fudge block. Fudge blocks. What can we get to with this? Everything. The fudge blocks are so strong. I still need so much more damage. Or there's a lot more miners. Some pink diamonds just popped out at other chest, so we're clearly getting down there. We have 50 times our coal quota now. I'm just sad that our collectors aren't keeping up as well as I thought they would. To be fair, there is a lot of debris on the ground. Employee minor damage 8%. Well, the day's about over. We didn't get all the way through the red layer, but that doesn't matter because what we did get was $6 million. So we were at 7 of the big collectors. We're going to jump up to a lot more. If they can't keep up, that's no good because we're about to get stronger too. So we're down to 5 million. We went from 7 to 12. We're going to jump up to the diamond poison gun. This is 300,000 damage per tick, so it's a colossal upgrade. And it seems like the obvious choice. 1 diamond. Then I'm going to spend the remaining $3 million on collectors. These are expensive because this one's 50, this one's 100. So all in all, not quite 200,000 for the whole process. So we're going to try and buy 8, 8, 8, and then 8. Yep, that was pretty good. And then up we go, 27. That's better. So we went from 7 to 29 lightning collectors. And our damage is a lot higher. So basically we wait for the first tick to destroy these blocks. That's why it still takes a long time. We're waiting for tick 1 to happen. 2% minor damage, 2% collector speed. The chests up here aren't as important. I really just need my poison. We need to get downward to the bigger chest. 2% minor damage for our 1 lonely miner. I wish there was a way to speed up the poison a little bit. Like in the chest, we could get faster poison activation. Because we're going down there, but it's going to get hard to go deep at the rate we're going. Like we wait a long time just for that first tick to happen. I guess down below it takes long to get through the thicker blocks anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Poison is powerful, but it definitely takes its time to activate. 4% minor damage. I haven't been increasing the collector capacity because I figure we'll just upgrade them with raw numbers. 6% minor damage though. We're gonna have like billions if not trillions of miners, so any little increase to our damage there is going to be real big. I'm going to use this to help me get through the reds a little bit deep as we can, because then we can just start the poison here. And poison our way back up and grab the chests we just left behind. Another 6% minor damage. Yeah, I do feel like the chests are limited to like the ones are actually relevant to us, so we should be able to get a really stupid build. 15% poison damage. Yeah, we can do a bit more of that. The chests are just pouring in at this point. 50% poison damage. Like, we should be able to actually make it really far just on our poison gun. Minor damage 8%, but we're still going to increase them because we can get billions of them. So 8% is a giant 80 million damage boost. Once we have the billion of them, I should say. 20% poison damage. The chests down here are getting very good for us. We needed 12,000 coal. We currently have 725,000. I didn't realize we're getting further and further ahead. Oh, pink diamond minigun. I'll take one of those. This will help me mine down quick. This thing does not stop for anything. And now we made a new pocket. So we'll get the poison working on all of that. There's a free chest awaiting me. 8% collector speed. Once we get down deep, we're going to need them basically teleporting. Well, there's another 20% poison damage for us. This is going to get stupid. Collector speed, so much to grab. The collectors do seem to actually be keeping up for the most part. There's another 20% poison damage. Our poison damage is now up to 190%. 190, that's insane considering the base damage, and it's going to jump up a lot every time we spray that poison out. Oh, gotta grab that. I just got the missile thing. I guess we'll use that to go down. Okay, there we go. The collectors finally get some capacity increase. We'll follow this down. Yeah, that's fine. And then we poison everything and keep doing what we're doing, grabbing chests along the way. Okay, there's another minigun. Didn't need this, but we'll take it. We'll just use that to drill a little deeper. I see the top of the next layer. It's sitting right there, but we're gonna need to be a little bit stronger. There's another 8% employee damage. Okay, we're on top of the next layer. So we'll start to find new and hopefully better chests and stuff in that layer, but it's going to be much harder to go through. The collectors generally are keeping up though. The poison waits to burst stuff out, so it takes them a second to pick it up afterwards, but this is good. We're just going to need more damage. I don't know what the coal quota was, I forgot already, but we got 1.7 million of it. 12.7 million for that, which is easy enough for the pink diamond. This does 7 ticks and over double. It's 2.5 times the damage with an extra tick, plus a bigger splat radius. So it's actually much, much better. I do think I want to add some of these strong elementalists in because they'll do their instant damage with their pickaxe. So we're going to see if we can add like 15 of them. I think we have the money for that. Buy that. 15, 15, and 15. That's only 2.4 million. That's okay. That's a good start. Aside from that, I'm just going to buy another... I don't know how many of those I can afford. 15? We'll start with 15 and see where that gets us. 15. Yeah, that was quite nice. And we can still add a few more on top of that because these aren't as expensive. I always think they're way more expensive than they are in bulk. We got $1.1 million left over. We might as well use it. We'll buy more of them. 315,000 left. Okay, let's see how this goes. We're gonna... Okay, the miners haven't spawned in yet. I'm gonna try and spawn them like right here so they can just start mining right below me. They took a second to appear. Okay, you guys get going downwards. Oh, are they splatting water or poison? Maybe they just have a different color poison to differentiate between us all. I think they're helping to dig downwards though, especially in these early layers. I just get an electric pickaxe. I don't even want to use that. It's too chaotic when I fly around with that. Okay, now they're making progress. Yeah, it feels good having the miners now. We got another electric pickaxe. Still not gonna use that. I'm gonna group the miners up a little bit. Just because I want them going down and not so much side to side here. Collector capacity can go up another 6%. We're finding lots of good stuff. There are new gems and potentially ores down below. I do want to find some of that. We got to get into that next layer. Collector speed, a further 8%. Between the poison and them pickaxing stuff, I think those actually work together well. Because every tick will obviously do big damage, but their pickaxe might finish it off. Collector speed 8%. There's chests everywhere and we're just tearing into them. Okay, well, you know what? We can use a little bit of the pickaxe. It's pink diamond. Poison's still better. 20%. We're gonna do minor damage. I still think long term we're gonna have more miners that will do more damage than our poison ever could. But our poison is doing a lot so far. Like we need 18,000 coal. We already have 800,000 and climbing. And we'll take 20% poison damage there. That's not gonna hurt. Like whatever the readout is on our weapon, we're doing several times that. Gonna gather the miners again and get them to focus up right here. We gotta get into that next layer. I want to get in there and start tearing that down, so I need them full focused. Halfway through the day, we've definitely hit our 18,000 coal quota. We're at 1.5 million. There's another 20% poison damage. That's really going to start adding up to big. Yeah, we'll take another 20% poison damage. I bet poison really could carry us a long ways down. Another 8% damage for my miner friends. We're definitely tearing through the red layer very quickly. I'm going to bunch them up again. I can actually just, yeah, if I focus them together, they'll just sit right on top of me. Okay, we made it down to the next layer. So I'm going to focus them up again just right here so we can all sort of work together, or they can work there on those few blocks. They're going to work their way down. I'll continue to sprinkle some poison down there to assist them while I just chase around a few more chests because I'm greedy. Well, 20% poison damage is 20% poison damage. If we're getting 20% increases, poison damage might get stupid. And that's 20% so far. I think that's a chest in the dark blocks. That might have a really big thing in it. I don't see any new gems or ore yet, but I do see a lot of pink diamonds up over here. We need to be getting into this stuff. Miners, get over here. Get these pink diamonds. Poison is so good as a support because it doesn't matter if I'm actively spraying a block or not. It's just resetting the poison. So we just spray and run. Oh, we're almost actually out of time for the day. Did we get to, you went around the chest, you idiots? Well, whatever. One day. And even the pink diamonds they worked around, they were sick of trying to go through that. The collectors actually aren't keeping up again, which is interesting, but we did get 3.5 million coal so far, so I think we're well ahead of our 18,000 quota. 32 million for the day. The next gun we need is 627 million. That's quite a jump. That is 75 million damage per tick though, so that is well ahead of where we're at. That's 100 times our current damage. What I'm hearing is we're going to need another 50 collectors to begin, just to make sure they're keeping up. How expensive is that going to be? 5 million. And then we're going to do the same with some miners if we can. Can we buy 50 of these? I'm not doing the math. Yeah, there we go. We'll get another 50 miners to see if they help or work against us. Then we're going to get another 30. So we got 140 lightning collectors and 116 strong elementalists. Oh, I should probably buy the hoverboard. That's basically a sturdier version of my wings. All right, down we go. Yeah, so now I stop in place. I don't have to flap around. I just go to where I'm going and hard stop. Collector speed 2%. The collectors need to be going crazy. They were letting me down last time. They are getting quick. They're basically blinking around at this point. Okay, have my miners spawned in yet? Yep, they sure have. Down you go, my little beauties. Yeah, that's better. They're just going down. They poison as they go too. Okay, I don't need an electric pickaxe. I need my miners to chew through the earth like this. Minor damage 4%. This is actually a lot quicker. Now I don't have to like wait for the poison to tick every time to get through the blocks. 16% collector speed, and then there's capacity for them. Got a diamond minigun. That'll help us get down there. We just need to push the next layer anyway. I know there's chests and stuff here, but the chests are better down below. So we'll summon all the miners to right here and let them go to work. I did also just get a flamethrower, so we'll try and jump ahead of them and help them flamethrower their way downwards a little bit. And then we'll go back up. Actually, we'll give them some poison assist, but there was a chest or two I saw. Collector speed 8%. The chests down here are so much more worth it. 8% minor damage, 20%. We probably want more speed for the collectors right now. We're getting deeper, so I need them to be able to move up and down in an instant. The poison damage is so tempting though. We'll take 20% poison damage here, just, you know, to make sure we're adequately poisoning everything. Minor damage 8%. I'm collecting chests in between sometimes. I'm not showing you all of them because we can just take a look at the stats every once in a while. I think you get the idea. We're collecting a lot of chests along the way. I'm actually going to regather them together because they're getting a little spread out. I want their damage, yeah, more focused. They'll go a lot deeper quicker that way. They just bore a hole straight through the earth. They made it to the dark tiles. That chest might have been in the dark one. No, it looks like the same. Collector speed 8%. Now they'll get to work. They're all working on their own. They are chewing through this though. They are doing it. I'm gonna try and summon them right here. I want them on his ruby patch. Can you guys get through that? Doesn't matter if they can't. They're trying their best. Coal quota was 28,000. We got 3.3 million so far. We're about halfway through the day. As they're getting deeper, they're sort of working around some of the tougher blocks. Like there's a diamond there. There's a pink diamond somewhere. They tend to just work around them. And that's okay. They did mine a note of diamonds there. So they'll get to some of them when it sort of just works in the circumstances' favor. Getting close to the end of the day, we're up to 7.5 million coal, so it'll be a pretty good money day. I still need a lot more damage though. I either need to get a whole bunch of poison chests, or I need to get a whole bunch more miners and just upgrade their damage. Earnings for that day, 136 million. We're getting better. I think we're essentially going to try and double the numbers of both of our helpers. So 140 more collectors, even though they were keeping up perfectly fine. That was not actually nearly as expensive as I thought it would be. 140 more of them. So let's do that again for both sides. Now that's balancing out. We're going to do that one more time. 140 there. We'll get 140 more collectors. We didn't quite balance them out, but close enough. We already have 500 employees. Once they spawn in, we'll summon them here and send them downwards. Okay, they're starting to spawn in, so once they go, they should just be in free fall mode. We'll get them all spawned in and send them down. All right, they're working their way down, and we're just going to grab stuff like this along the way. I did get a flamethrower, but I think they're going faster than their flames can eat these blocks anyway. They actually made an enormous swath. I don't know if that's because of their poison, but like, it's a giant thing. Oh, we did get one of these. These are kind of fun. Down we go. They're tearing through the red so quick now. Well, not quick enough. I focus them back up. They're going to go down right there. They'll eventually spread out again. They make such a big swath no matter what we do, though. There's a pink diamond AK, which, whatever. I don't even know where they are at this point. All right, they made it to the top of the next layer. Let's summon them right back to this little pocket and have them go crazy right here. If they put their damage together, it's going to work a lot better. We need a 40,000 coal, and we've gotten 7 million so far. Here's one of the dark chests. So, employee minor damage, 50%. That is a giant increase for them. So, what did that just do for them? That's insane. Their damage went from 130 to 180%. I think I'm going to enjoy the chests in this layer and the following layers. They're going to be hard to break into, but with stats like that, we're going to get stupidly strong. Okay, we got into another one. Collector capacity, 50%. That is insane. I really like the way they rebalance this now for the end game stuff like that. Because the upgrades, they were starting to seem a little tedious to open up a bunch of the little chests up top. But now you can open one of these and it's an enormous increase. And that's still only just on this layer. I want more of those chests. You guys get in there. Okay, we got into this one. Collector speed 50%. Also minor damage. Probably want minor damage right now. Because these blocks are not getting any softer as we go down. Collector capacity 50% again. We finally got into that chest and now they're working their way down again. Fudge blocks are really tough. I'm going to just pull all the miners right to here because I think some of them are sitting on useless fudge blocks. I don't think my poison really does much effect here at this point. Like, I think I can spray this a lot and it's all going to be the miners moving forward unless I get giant increases from my own poison. Got another chest. We can get 125% poison damage. That's so insane. We'll take 50% employee damage for now. And I'm going to put them right here so they can eat up some of this. This is so satisfying though. Employee minor damage is 332%. It went up a lot just this round. And I feel like our earnings might have also done the same. 429 million. Oh, we found the new ore or gem. Those are worth 750,000 each. That's insane. I can't wait to find more. And we're done. Just kidding on this mode. So we still can't afford the next one of these, which is going to be needed at some point. What we do instead, we're going to triple the number of idiots we have. So we're going to get 1,500. That was really expensive, but it did work. We got triple the numbers. We're going to do the same over here. These are generally cheaper. And we're going to get the last 800 that we need, if we can. Hello? 800? Do we not have... Oh, we might not have enough money. That's okay. We'll balance out next time. For now, we have everything we need. And now that I know that the chests down there are that much better, we're just going to go straight for the bottom. As quick as we can. I've unleashed the miners. Straight to the bottom. I'm going to poison my way down too. Actually, I'm going to use my whistle. Just get them to focus up. They're getting ahead of me actually. Okay, we're going to do that again. I want them focused right here. We'll chew through the red layer right into the dark layer. Okay, there we go. We landed right on top of a chest too. So hopefully we get into that a little quicker this time. We actually did. Minor damage, another 50%. I think until I get a better weapon, my poison damage is pretty much useless now. It's all in my army of miners to get the job done. But it seems like they are. I'll still spray some poison just because it's helping at least somewhat. Even if it's only 1%, it's still a help. We do get collectors another 50% speed. They were at 150. That pushed them up to 200. Like, that is such an enormous increase for them. I'm not really even paying attention to the coal quota anymore. We need 80,000. We've currently got 60 million. There's another 50% minor damage. Make that 100% minor damage, which is really, really, really stupid. Given that we've gotten already 120 million coal, we're going to make a lot of money this time. And we're just going to keep increasing the employee minor damage 50% at a time, so they'll be able to just tear through the ground. They're at almost 700%. And before long, we're going to get into the next layer that it's going to hopefully have even better chests. There's also 125% to our poison, which we haven't gotten those in a while, but that was a big increase. We're up to 455% poison damage. So we probably could actually just stack those for a long time if we did want to rely on poison. It might work. Okay, we found the next layer already. We're getting down to the green stuff, which is probably going to be considerably harder to mine through. I think it's safe to say we hit our coal quota though. We need 80,000. We have 200 million. So far, this is like the most overpowered miner in the history of mining. And there are chests in this layer too. Those are going to be so stupidly strong. Money for the day naturally is going to be a big one. We found 50 of those. That was worth 40 million. We made 2 billion. So let's get these guys balanced out. 806. 806. And we're going to try tripling the numbers again. So we need 6,000 of these. Pretty sure this is going to work. Yeah, that was only half of our money that time. So we can still top up from there. So we're over tripling our mining power. Although we still fall short here. So we can't quite triple both sides as we're learning. We should be able to push into that green layer today. Because if we have triple the mining power, actually we bought triple. So we technically have quadruple the mining power we did last time. So that means once I spawn these little guys in, they're going to eat the ground faster than we can move. And there's just a lot going on the screen. But down we go. The red layer gets dissolved in an instant. And then we're back into this layer, which is going quick. 50% more damage for my friends. Plus another 50% for them. They're going to get really stupidly strong. Like, they're already getting there, but this is going to be like, there's another 50% for them. Really feel like I should push into the next layer as soon as possible, though. So I'm going to summon all my miners right to here. And yeah, they even turn to the fudge blocks in no time. There's another 50% damage for them, and 50% more damage. I can actually hover around basically and search for chests again. There's another 50% damage for them, and we can actually still get into this because they're poisoning everything. 50% collector speed. I don't think I've ever had stats this high, and we can still go so much deeper. The collectors really are blinking around at this point. I did buy get myself some more sprint speed too. I just want to make sure I'm able to move around very efficiently. We'll take another 125% sprint speed there. I'm pretty sure that affects my movement. It's hard to say. We're in the next layer. This was a chest from the previous layer still, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll keep going down. I want that chest. All of the miners are going to sit right here and go downwards. These blocks are tough though. Even with all of these miners sitting basically right here, they're not exactly tearing through it. It might be a bad idea to have them trying to get through the fudge blocks right now. They might not be able to do it by the end of the day. Oh wait, they did get through it. So 72% miner damage instead of 50. I'm going to bring them over here. There were some diamonds, so I'm going to drop them right on top of the diamonds. They spread themselves out. That's okay. I'll let them sort of figure their own stuff out. We only see a visual representation of so many of them anyway. There's more here than what we see. Definitely going to need more mining power because we're slowing down a lot now that we're hitting this layer. Oh, there's one of the new ores. By the end of the day, we mined 1.164 billion. Oh, and that's just in coal. And the rest of the things, we made many billions of dollars. Many billions. We're going to buy not quite 3 times as many of everything, just to hopefully get our balances a little better. Although we might have just made a lot of money now they're breaking into the next layer, so we might have a lot more money than I thought. Scientific notation's going to be a different thing to try and read. Kind of feel like at this point it's not really going to matter what we do though. We're spending money. We still have $9 billion. Can we buy another 20,000? Yeah, we sure can. Might have accidentally just sold a whole bunch. Not really sure what just happened. We have a lot more miners than we just did though, again. 90,000. That's probably plenty. At some point I should probably buy the better poison gun. I think it can help, but I'm not really sure at this point. I assume the amount of miners we have, like there's just nothing that's going to compare to that kind of raw damage. Especially when they're at 1350%. They are really tearing through the dark layer this time. I'm just flying around following them down, collecting chests at this point. Big empty spot here, but each one of these is just so stupidly strong. There's 50% miner damage. There's another 50% miner damage. They just got a 100% increase. And now we're going to get more speed. My computer also just made some kind of sound. I don't actually know what that was or what it wants. Hopefully things aren't about to implode on me. With the amount of miners we have, they are actually able to go through the yellow, whatever color this is, and they're doing it quite wide and quick. But also not quite quick enough for me. I'm going to bring them down and we're going to dump them right on top of this chest. That way they'll work down in a nice narrow area and all work together with their damage. I think last time we had 1 billion coal. We've already got 8.2 billion. Like this is just getting stupidly fast. But what's another 72% employee collector speed? The collector speed is so high we just sort of see them like they just sort of flash across the screen for a second. They're at 822% and they're pretty fast to begin with. I think we're probably going to hit our coal quota of 250,000. I think we mined 31 billion coal this time, if I'm reading that correctly. 3.1 10 zeros. It's a really big number. We found 87,000 of those things alone. Those are $750,000 each. Now it's a matter of trying to figure out how many more of these guys we can buy. We're going to buy 150,000 of each. That seems to be more than agreeable based on the number I'm seeing up top. So we're going to change that to 700,000 each. And with that, yeah, that was a more bigger chunk out of our total money. We don't want to make it too big because we'll run out and unbalance ourselves. But I figure if we can give ourselves 1 million to either side, we'll have this much money left over to buy, we'll buy a new poison gun. Sure, why not? And that hardly made a dent in our money anyway. This one does do 75 million damage per tick for 8 ticks, so it might actually help our workers somewhat. I spent a little more, we're up to 1.4 million of either type of worker. I think this poison probably has a lot further, yeah, definitely got a lot further reach too, so that's going to help us penetrate deeper if we need it. I don't know if it's going to be strong enough to actually break any blocks at the bottom, but that's why I brought 1 million workers with me. I've gathered them up again, they're going really quickly down through this zone. I do want to try this gun. to see if we can go through these blocks ourselves. So we're going to try and find some that are somewhat untouched and see if our damage is even going to crack them or not. That something broke those. Was that my damage or theirs? Maybe I can actually go through these now. It'd be cool if I could actually be a help to my miner friends. Yeah, I'm the one breaking these, no one else. Okay, so we can contribute up to this layer, which is insane considering how strong this is. We're still going to mostly rely on the miners and just pick up the chests that they leave behind, which apparently they're very rare suddenly. Oh, they found a new layer. We're down to an orange layer now, so we're going to have even bigger, better stuff down below. So we'll gather them all up and make them go down. I'll contribute my poison, but I assume these blocks are also insanely strong. Yeah, I could definitely break these green blocks fairly easily, which is nice. That means I can put a dent in these other blocks. In the upgrades, we're going to get 100% from a single chest. It's starting to get hard to see what I'm doing. It's just a flurry of activity. Oh, that's a new gem too, whatever that is. I would imagine it's worth a lot of money, like anything down here at this layer. Employee miner damage is up to 2200%. Collector speed is 1200%. Poison damage is also about 1200%. The miners were too spread out, so I'm going to focus them right here on this corner where they can hopefully all stack up their damage together. I've also sacrificed my ladder and platforms to the mines. For this day, we made a lot of money. There's the new gem. These are worth 7.5 billion each. I could actually afford the uranium poison gun, which does 7.5 E plus 11 damage per tick for 9 ticks and a bigger radius again. I think it's more important for now to keep the employees going up. We have 1.4 million. I'm going to try and buy 3 million, which I'm pretty sure we should really easily be able to afford. Keeping an eye on the numbers up top. Yeah, we could buy many more than that, but we're going to keep it even for a second. We're going to jump up to 7 million each. And that's going to take bigger bites out of our money, but it's a more manageable way to do it. Now we got 25 million of each type. These guys will help us get even lower. I'm just going to push straight down on this. I'm going to go back for those chests, but then we're going to push down to the next layer. I've also just increased employee miner damage 210% in the past 10 seconds. And we're down to the orange layer, where the things jump back up to a 100% increase. But I have many times the amount of miners we had before, so we should get through this pretty quick too. We're halfway through the day and we are tearing apart the orange layer. And actually, if I keep them focused on me, we'll go downwards quite quickly. We've hit the purple layer. This might be a little bit slower again. These layers are going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. I started having them on the purple fudge block. I don't know if we're even going to be able to mine through one of those, so I'm going to put them on regular purple tiles. Hopefully they can tear through a few of these. Very slowly they're getting through these. So it's a good thing we're well ahead of our million coal quota. We did not get very far into this layer, so we're going to need a lot more miners with a lot more power. We only found 332 of the things worth 7.5 billion. That makes me very sad. I'm going to try and buy 75 million. Hopefully that does not break the bank, and if the trend continues like it has, it should be, yeah, we're okay with that. We jumped up to 100 million miners. I got a little overzealous. We spent all of our money there, but we have 195 million miners and 175 million collectors. Yeah, we have an imbalance of collectors and miners, but we have way more miners than we had last round, and collectors, so we'll be fine. It takes a long time to get to this point, so my brain is getting tired. Okay, even the orange layer, we are basically evaporating at this point. And back down to the purple layer, where I'm going to group them all up and we're going to start pushing downwards if we can. Us by ourselves are strong enough to actually take out these orange tiles, not super quickly, but we can do it. Poison damage has climbed up to 2600%, just taking the option in chests when there was no better one available. I think we actually found a way into a purple chest. Yeah, we sure did. We get 320% poison damage from a single chest. Employee miner damage will go up 130% at a time. We got 4.3 E plus 13, so we're about halfway to E14. But we are chewing through this purple layer, and that's a really good sign. It's also really, really good for our wallets too. Look at all that. We got 27,000 of the valuable things this time. So money, we got 1.1 E15 even. We are getting so much money. We need to balance this out first and foremost. So 75 million of these will give us 250 million collectors along with miners. We still have the E15 number, so we can get considerably more than that. Let's try 500 million. We should be able to easily afford this. It's just I got to be careful how many times I do this because the money does run out and we get uneven amounts. But for now, it actually seems quite easily up to the task of this. But once we hit E13, our numbers go down quite a lot. I think we're at 250 million. We just went up to 3 billion 250 million with those upgrades. We're at 7.8 E13. I actually want the uranium gun at this point. Because that's going to give us a lot more damage again. I think it's 100 times the damage, but I don't feel like writing out the number and doing the math. It's got a bigger radius too, so we'll be able to dissolve more blocks at once. And with the amount of miners we have, I think we should rocket straight to the bottom. We just made it down to the purple layer. I'm going to get my idiots to gather up. Yeah, they're chewing through this easily now. I have grouped them all together, so they're staying near me, but we got a new chest. There's new 120% collector speed. But I want to see with my new gun if I can break these myself, because this is stupidly strong. Yep, we sure can. We can break these by ourselves. These new upgrades are insane. So I should be collecting chests and going to help them. Employee minor damage, by the way, is all the way up to 4,600%. And then we still get like 320% poison damage from a lot of these chests. So we can definitely do a lot of this ourselves. So I will help the miners as we go, but it's still important to just keep going deep as we can. I'm going to zoom out a little bit again. That way I can actually see a lot more of the chests around. There's another 130% employee damage. I want to get this thing because these are the valuable ones. Oh, we hit the next layer. We hit a green layer. Okay, we dropped a whole bunch of the valuables down and we're going to find a spot to start going into here. Maybe right here. I'm going to gather them all up above this chest. Down we go into the green machine. I'm also going to go around and poisonous. I don't know if I have the strength to really kill. I can kill the purples. I don't know if I can kill the green by myself. Maybe over enough ticks. It's crazy to think that there's still layers that can resist billions of miners and all of this damage. We're running out of time for the day. We so far have let's call it 3 E14 coals, which is lots and lots and lots. Though we're having trouble breaking blocks at this point. These blocks are clearly very, very strong. Money 4.38 E15. Okay, I'm going to try buying 7 billion miners at this point, which is actually only 3.5 E12, considering how much money we have. Yeah, okay, we'll start with that. We're going to be able to do this quite easily and buy quite a few miners. Even our miners have scientific notation. We left 2.6 billion of them behind, but you get the idea. We've got a lot. I think this is 17 billion. This is so much quicker than before too. We're only on day 23 to do this. The orange layer is getting eaten up even quicker. I brought them all the way back down to the green layer that we're still trying to fight our way through. It is really tough, but I think we're going to get there. I can offer my support by coming and giving them more stuff, like more poison damage and then applying that damage to the blocks. Well, with our current gun, we can easily destroy the pink blocks, so I just need to unlock myself the next gun and maybe we'll be able to take out the greens. We did get into one of the green chests, so we're going to increase our poison damage 405%. My poison damage has increased up to 7,200% at this point. That's not really intentional, it's just whenever that's the only option available, and it climbed up that much. 20 seconds left in the day. We've gotten a little bit into the green layer, but not very far. We're going to need a lot more damage to do this. Although we still did get quite an increase to coal, and therefore everything else. 6.9 E15. Actually, we're still quite a ways away from being able to afford the moonstone. That's a 17. And the onyx is 25. That's insane now that I think about that. Basically, we're going to need a lot more idiots. I'm hoping this works as easily as I'm thinking it's going to. We're going to buy 1.7 E10. I'm basically just trying to double the numbers. So we'll buy that many of them, and them. Yep, that worked out. So we'll have at least double the amount of miners, and we still got a little bit more money to spend. So we're going to have a lot more power pushing downwards. Couldn't quite triple them though. That's okay, I still feel like we'll be doing alright. Okay, apparently the younger miners, or the weaker ones, get to come out quicker. Even the purple layer now, we are just dissolving like acid. Back in the green layer, let's gather them all together and hopefully they can start to push through this somewhat. I think there's another new rare ore down over there to the left. Hopefully we get to mine some of that. I want to see the value of it. We do seem to be finding a lot more coal, so we're clearly slowly chiseling our way through these green blocks. If I do keep them grouped up together, they do seem to do a lot more damage. Like we push the coal numbers into the E15s now. And quite a ways in, actually. If we kept going, we could get considerably more. But we're out of time for that. But this should be a ludicrous amount of money. Oh, we found a new thing. We found 174 of them. They're worth 3.75 E14 zeros. Actually, look at the value of that. Those are worth 6.5 E16. That's the most valuable thing we found by quite a long shot. Like a hugely valuable bit. So we just need to find more of those. Nope, we're not buying that many. So the big boost is going to be in finding those gems and getting as many of those as we can get. I'm trying to do this. My brain's getting tired, but I think that's going to be okay like that. And then we're going to do the other side. And work our way up like that, spending our money. We're still at E16, so we're doing okay. We made so much money thanks to those crystals. Like, we're going to be so much stronger than we just were. Every time I'm doing this is the amount that we had before in total, and I've done it like 10 times on each side. Long story short, I have 300 billion miners now. Since all of our money is going to come from the gems here on this green layer, I brought everyone down to this layer. And we're going to do our best to simply push down through this layer, grabbing as many of those gems along the way as we can, but we're actually devouring this layer quite quickly. Pretty sure this here is one of those gem nodes that we need. Yep, it sure was, because there's a gem sitting on the ground waiting for the collectors to swoop on by. This is much better. They're very much tearing into this, to the point where they're even taking out the fudge blocks. And that's giving me lots of poison damage. Our poison damage is all the way up to 12,000%. I'm going to keep summoning them into a small circle, that way their damage overlaps, so we'll go a lot deeper cheaper this way. My collectors also haven't made a single trip home yet. I gotta send them home right now. I just realized that. Okay, there we go. We got 1.6 E16. I think when I sent them home, they just instantly blinked there. Like, I'm pretty sure there's no delay. Good thing I looked up and checked that. We might have actually lost there if the collectors hadn't made a single trip back yet. So lots of our items were E16 earnings and our super gems were E17. We only found 1,400 of them, but they're stupidly valuable. So now I gotta continue on buying even more idiots. For this, I gotta buy whatever that is, 6.5 billion. Maybe I don't care. They can sit there at this point. We gotta figure out the math on all this once again. So I'm gonna attempt to buy 3 times the amount of miners we have. I think that should be easy to do. Hopefully we made as much money as I think we just did. Yep, we sure did. Alright, so that's going to be a big boost for us once again. We can only get away with that so many times. We're leaving a lot of miners here in medium elementalist, but we got many times the amount of miners we just had. So green layer is really quickly being eaten now. We might see the bottom of this layer. It took us like 1/3 of the day just to get down to this point. We are so deep. Oh, we did find the next layer. It's a gold layer, which I imagine is going to be even harder to mine through, but probably also come with new gems again. So I'm going to try and focus all their damage right here, and they'll get through what they get through for the rest of the day. I'm going to set my idiots back up for a sec. That way we can hit our coal quota by a large margin. And though the day ended, I just remembered to blow the whistle before the end of the day, so they actually deposited. Still only 371 of these crystals. We need more. So now I've got to once again buy a whole bunch of miners. Starting with double the amount of miners we currently have, and hopefully that doesn't bankrupt us immediately. And it actually did. Did I just screw up the math in a big way? I must have. I guess we didn't make several times our earnings though, because we didn't find enough of those crystals, so we need more of those. But don't worry, I have a plan. Well, the purple layer here, I'm going to let them spread out. I'm going to stop summoning them to me. Summoning them keeps them nice and tight in a narrow thing. Now they're going to spread out, and then they're going to get a lot more crystals on the way down. There's hardly even any point in collecting these chests anymore. The increases we're getting are big, but like, relatively they're not that big anymore. I also don't think I need collector speed anymore, considering they basically teleport back to the top. I probably can add at least 1,000% to employee miner damage. I could probably do that actually quite quickly. I just don't know if that's really going to help them. Their damage is at 8,000% already, so it would be an increase, but I don't know if it's enough to make the difference. They're leaving these crystals behind now. That's sort of the problem too. Like they need to be mining these things. I didn't realize that before, so I'm going to go around and camp some of those for sure, because every bunch of those we get is going to make a big difference for us. We got about 30 seconds left. I've just been going around cherry picking whatever I could for those valuable crystals. I've gotten employee miner damage up about 2,000%. They're at 10,000% damage. They just hit this layer, so that's a good sign. So that means I hopefully very efficiently covered this, and that's hopefully going to give us the money we need to boost through the gold layer. Whatever the case, I'm pretty confident we hit the coal quota. See, that's better. We found 2,000 of those. We made 7.5 E17. So that was almost into E18. We do actually have 1 E18 in money. So we're going to try this again, getting more. We need actually a lot of things. 2.11 E12. We'll start with that. Keeping an eye on the money in the upper left to see how fast that drops. Ooh, that was a pretty big bite. That was another big bite. But we'll do it again on the miners to increase the amount of them. And then back over. We did get a lot more damage out of the miners too. That was a lot of money. Yeah, that was pretty much all the money. We do have more, but we're going to need to find a way to boost our income. We need to go basically the same strategy again. I need them to mine all of those valuable blocks that they can get their hands on. Or we just got to push into the gold layer. At this point, we might just have to take all that damage and focus on the gold layer, trying to get some gems from that area. Okay, I put them back down on the gold layer. I'm just going to focus them all in this one little spot. Hopefully they'll be able to tear into this. They're very loud. I feel like I'm yelling. While they're working on that, I'm going to wander away where it's quieter for my ears and see if I can find some extra damage for them all. This is a pretty big risk, because if they don't get into the gold and find any more valuable gems, I was better off going through this layer and cherry picking more gems. Now that I'm flying around here though, I'm also not seeing as many leftover gems, so I think we might have enough miners that they don't leave them behind anymore. They can just trash right through them with their damage. They are making their way down into the gold zone. They're not super deep in, but they are going through it, and every one of the more valuable gems is going to be worth an absolute fortune. I'm going to go down and help with poison for just a sec, even though it's basically the end. We're going to make sure to send the collectors back non-stop. My poison damage is at 23,000%. I probably should go ahead and buy a better thing if I can. Yeah, we are better off probably chasing more of the rare gems again. We made 5.5 plus 17. Luckily our coal quota isn't that hard to get at all, so we're just going to jump right back into it. We only need 4 billion coal. Since I have as many miners as I do, I'm going to let them go pretty soon. Then they can fan out from here. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. They can fan out from here. And then I got lots of chests I can work with. I'm going to turn down the number of entities drawn because the game is starting to get laggy. The game is still being laggy. I hope that means they're cutting a wide swath through the earth. They've chewed through this. We've got about 10% of the day left, but I've been increasing damage a lot. Our poison damage is up to almost 32,000 and employee minor damage is 15,000. So the damage has basically doubled in the past 2 runs. So I suspect that if we gather them together right now, they might actually be able to push through this a little bit. It's still slow going. These things are so tough, but we got 1.5 E17 coal. Actually, if I'm spraying the poison down, they might be making a little bit more progress. All of this poison damage had to add up to something eventually. Okay, yeah, this time we found 4,500 of the rare gems. So that was worth 1.7 E18, which is a huge amount. Which means I can actually afford the Moonstone poison gun, which is 7.5 E16 damage, which is majorly more than my current amount of damage. So we're going to sell that and buy the Moonstone. With our remaining money, we're going to try and buy more miners again. So I'm buying basically the same amount as the max amount of miners that we have, and we're going to work our way up the list. And that seems to have worked out well. We left some behind there, but I've been clicking all over the place the past little while. So everything is a complete mess, as per usual. I could probably go with more miners than I have collectors because they can blink up and down. Like, they don't take any time. They can make 1,000 trips in a second, probably. Anyways, I am completely out of money, so let's try our new and improved thing. Our coal quota is actually getting quite big. It's 1.2 E10, so that's starting to catch up with us. Okay, we just arrived down at the gold layer. I'm going to start to spray my poison to see if its damage is enough to start ticking through this stuff. Oh, it is. That's actually insane considering we have like hundreds of billions, if not trillions of employees at this point, but our gun is still stronger. Cool. We're going to get lots of damage here. Is this a new gem? What is this? I don't know what this is. Can you idiots come and mine this with me? I don't know if that was a new one or not. It didn't look like it. Not in the end. The chest here will be worth lots though. There's 500% poison damage. This might be a new one. Idiots, get on this. If we can find whatever gem is hiding in the gold layer, if there is one, it'll be worth it to mine even just one. Can we mind it? Whatever it was, we got at least one of them out, so we'll hopefully see the value of that after this. I'm going to go back to just mining everything while continuing to increase my poison damage at this point. I don't know. We'll still increase both miners and collectors because we're just going to need raw numbers of both. But our poison damage is absolutely absurd at this point. We are just melting even these blocks. This should be a pretty good one. I've sent the collectors up. We have 2.2 E17 just in coal. I really want to see this new gem. Hopefully it's worth like a gazillion. Oh, there wasn't a new gem. But we did get about E18. So I'm not sure if there is a new gem or where it's hiding. I thought there was 4 new gems. There's 3 here. Maybe it's in the next layer, which is going to be tough to get to. So we'll just go ahead and see about adding more miners that can support our cause. We will do the same with collectors too, because I don't want to suddenly run out of what we need and we're out of money again. But we did like almost double the amount of miners we had, but all of our power is in our poison now. So we got to go deeper. That's all I took away from that. We got to go through the gold layer. We're all the way back down to the gold layer, so I'm just going to poison straight downwards. Maybe even going around the chests. I want to see the bottom or whatever the next layer is to see if we can start poking into that. There's also a lot of debris sitting on the ground. I don't love that. We might be pushing out of our collectors now, which is kind of funny, but also not a good sign. I actually found the top of the next layer already, much quicker than I thought I would. Whether or not we can go through this very much, I don't know. Seems like we can. My poison is really, really strong. It was going through the gold easy enough, so it should be able to somewhat go through the brown, although maybe not so much. I'm just kind of sitting here spraying poison all around, hoping that anything breaks at all. Yeah, my poison, even with like 35,000% extra damage, isn't enough to really go through these, so it's got to be back on the miners to do it all. We only found 152 of those, but we did still get into the 18G of money, so pushing through the gold layer is going to be the way to do it. I was going to try and clean this up a bit, because I just want to make sure that's getting as much as we can. Okay, whatever it is, Max, get in there, just go in there. I just converted a whole bunch of these into this. That might actually help our problem. I didn't realize how many of these we had sitting there. I haven't really been paying much attention. We're out of money, we got more miners. Now that I've hit the green layer, I'm going to let the miners go. They'll spread out a lot more. I'll go down and help them in a second. I just want to get a little bit more damage if I can, even though these upgrades aren't meaning much at this point. They're actually kind of slow going through here, aren't they? I did want them to spread out, but I didn't want them to be this slow. Well, that actually worked out okay, because now we're into the gold layer. We're going to do a wider swath through the gold layer this time. I don't know how wide we're going to go, but wide enough. Then I can also collect chests along the way. These are giving me big boosts. I don't think this is working either. Like, we're not making enough progress. I got to gather them all up again. I need them in a tighter bunch still. They're not strong enough to really do that on their own. It's got to be me plus the poison plus them. Even with this, like, we can't even necessarily mine all these gems. It takes so long. Well, that strategy didn't really work, but it still got 1.E18, so that's something. So I'm going to try and buy another whole bunch of these, as many as we can. That was all of our money. But we got more miners. My strategy this time is just going straight down, alternating between summoning the idiots and poisoning downwards. Hopefully we'll just get enough of whatever we need to make big money. We can see a lot of AoE damage going out all around us. It's these ones that I'm sitting on. I think I gotta break these, but I don't know if I'm actually strong enough. Like, it takes so long to get through this. That might have broken? Yep, it sure did. So I gotta send them up, and hopefully that, whatever that was worth a lot. Really feeling the progress slowing and slowing and slowing. We did make 1.6 E off the crystal, so that was a good thing to break. So we're going to buy another 1E13 here and bring that all the way up. And that was a large amount of the money, but that was a big increase to our miners and therefore mining power. And same strategy again, straight to the bottom. I feel like this is slower than it used to be. I'm not sure why, but the miners are spawning in less slowly. So this is going to be a problem if we can't go down that quickly anymore either. It's going to take us most of the day just to get to that layer. I'm genuinely confused as to why this is slowed down so much. Did I accidentally sell a bunch of my miners? Like, we're not moving anywhere. Okay, things seem to have sped up a little bit again, but it's still slow. I'm still very confused as to why it was so slow for so long. Like, we weren't moving at all in the orange layer. We did finally make it back to the gold layer, but with like 10% of the day left. So that's going to be a problem if we can't get down there in time anymore, because we got way less stuff because of that. We spent way too much time in the garbage layers. Like, I can barely even buy anything with this little money. And it seems to be happening again. We are not going down nearly fast enough, not nearly as fast as we were. And I really don't understand why. There's something going on with the miners. Like, considering we have trillions potentially, they're hardly making their way through this ground. They should be touching that with their pickaxes should be hitting that and just destroying it all. There's no way that it should take them more than a millisecond to go through this. I don't know what's happening, but we've broken things. Yeah, once again, we are about 3/4 of the way through the day and we're only down to this layer. We're moving so much slower now that I can't possibly progress anymore. Am I overlooking something? Did I accidentally change something? Am I imagining how slow I'm going? Like, by the time I get to the gold zone, it's the end of the day. Like, I don't have time to work in this. I have no idea if I'm going crazy or not, but our earnings are definitely going down in a big way. And I'm pretty sure we got more miners than ever before. Like, if I'm understanding this, I think we have 50 trillion miners. And we don't have enough power to go through the weak layers quickly. So let me know what I'm obviously overlooking, but if I can't progress anymore, we'll just call it here.